Shalom, Israel. Shalom, shalom. We'll start off by saying, first and foremost, giving all glory and honor to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shah, Bahashim, Rakakadash. Double honors to the Yahweh's apostles, great minister, and honor to the elect. I want to share some stuff with you, and I wanted to come on top a few days ago. I started getting into this Matthew 14, and then it took me to John, and then I was in John, and John's amazing. But I'm gonna talk about John another time, but I'm just gonna touch on it briefly. But what led me to that was, I have a job where I help people. If people are looking to buy homes or rent, my job is to connect them with agents who can do that. And a lot of people who call in who are looking to rent are us, go figure. And some people are looking to rent to own, and I can't let them know that rent to own is the biggest racket, one of the biggest rackets out here. But I can't let them know that, and I've been trying to figure out a way to say that without saying that. But I'm a nigga that worked there, so we're supposed to get like 3 calls graded. I feel like they grade more than mine. I've talked to the managers about it, but they don't believe me. But I gotta just tell the managers to, and I do that. I do tell them that. But digressing. So a sister called and she was like, I need a place to stay. I need to find a place to rent. And I'm like, okay, bet, I got you. You know what I mean? Just got to answer these questions. I'm gonna get you going. And she's like, all right. So, if you're not face to face with people, so you can't see people's body language. But when you're on the phone with people, a little insider trick if you do sales, and I'm gonna put you onto some game. Listen to the way they breathe. If they're breathing, they're one of those high strung people that want things quickly, and they'll tell you in business sales it's about matching, right? So you got to match the tone. They call it tonality, but it's matching. So you want to match the way they're speaking. You want to speak with them so you can be on the same page with them. Sometimes those people, I like to slow down with those people. Unless I'm calling somebody in New York, man, it's like pizza, the taxi, the cab, you know what I mean. I gotta go fast. I'm talking to Boston, I gotta go fast. You know what I mean. But down south, I gotta go slow. But this woman was very distraught, so I'm like, man, what's wrong? What's wrong with this sister? You know what I mean? And I'm just like, yo, Yahweh Shai, just tell me what you want me to say, because she's an Eve. And your word tells us we are supposed to comfort those. You know what I'm saying? Your word is a comforter. So in me being a man of the Lord, I gotta comfort Israel. You know what I mean? So I'm just waiting, just waiting on the Lord to give me the word. Just listen to her cry, listen to talk to me about her child's father, and I got 4 kids to take care of by myself, and I'm like, and then all of a sudden, I'm like, listen. I'm like, you need to get back to Yahweh by Shah. She's like, oh, I'm so glad you know their names. And I was like, oh, really? She said, yeah. I said, and you know their names? And she said, yeah. I said, okay. She goes, oh yeah, I'm an Israelite too. I said, oh, okay. You know what I mean? But that don't mean nothing to me. You know what I mean? I still have to use discernment. You know what I mean? You could be giving me boobity doo. You know what I mean? So I'm like, okay. And then I'm like, okay, question time. I said, are you doing what you're supposed to be doing? She said, well, what do you mean? I said, do you keep the Sabbath? She said, yes. I said, okay. That little voice said, I heard that little voice in my head, my spirit say, we need more yeses. I said, we sure do. I said, do you have on fringes? Do you have a dress with fringes on the bottom of because you are a woman. Didn't hear nothing. I said, okay. Do you have your hair wrapped? She said, no, I don't have my hair wrapped. I said, okay. Okay, so I said, but you're supposed to, these are things you're supposed to be wearing. I mean, if you don't know about, I did a study a while ago. It's called "What Are You Wearing to the Party?" That's all about the French numbers 1738, right? So we got that too. You know what I mean? I was like, now sisters are supposed to be dressed in modest apparel. Sisters aren't supposed to be wearing pants and all that. So it says what? So to say that a woman is not to wear what pertains to a man, and a man is not to wear what pertains to a woman, and if so, to the abomination to the Most High. So they're not supposed to wear those things. So I'm like, a lot of sisters put on pants. You put on those pants, you put on a man's spirit. So you're gonna have to deal with man shit. You're taking care of 4 kids by yourself. That's you. So I'm like. Okay, didn't get a no there, didn't get a no there. I'm like, you have things in your house that you're not supposed to be eating. Didn't get a no there. I said, listen. I said, listen. I said, how do you expect to get anything from Yahweh by Hashem Yahushai and you're not doing nothing he's asked you to do? I said, his commandments are not grievous. We all know this by now. You know what I mean? And if you don't know by now, if you're new to this, if you're new to my page, you know what I mean? And you've been stuck in those I call them outhouses. They call churches on Sunday, worshiping the sun. And it's these are very simple. 1 John 5:3. For this is the love of the Most High, of Yahweh, that we keep his commandments, and his commandments are not grievous. So for this is the love of the Most High. So if you love the Most High, people like to talk about it. People like to be about it, right? Like to talk about it, right? Oh yeah, I love the Lord. I love the Lord. Still got lobster and pork in your refrigerator. You don't have on fringes. You don't. I said, my last question for her was, I said, listen, are you unequally yoked with your friends? Do you have friends that are not in the truth and that you're always around, that you congregate with? Family, friends, excuse me. Crickets. I said, hey, yo. I said, you're taking your eye off the ball. Like, I said, we're living in the days where Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai is like setting the table. Like, if you don't realize by now that it's us with him and nothing else matters, then you clearly are, your mind's on something else. You're not even thinking about what's important. And what's important is salvation. What's important is the kingdom, right? Because we talk about what we think about, right? What's the scripture say? Store up treasures in heaven, right? Right. Matthew 6:9. Go ahead, y'all. Turn to Matthew 6:19. All right. Matthew 6:19. Lay up for yourselves treasures. Lay not up for yourselves treasures upon earth, where moth and rust doth corrupt. Corrupt means destroy. And where thieves break in through and steal. See, you know what? I'm not even going to move to the next scripture yet. Let's stick here for a second, right? Don't lay up for yourselves treasures upon earth. Listen, how many people you know that if they got to have the new shoes, they got to have a new car, they got to have the big screen house, they got to have the jewelry, they got to have the clothes, they got to have all that. That don't mean nothing to you, all right? It don't mean nothing. What's it say? Where moth and rust doth corrupt, right? They don't last. There's no everlasting to them. Where thieves break through and steal. We all know there's the mad thieves out here that want to steal what you got because they own the same stuff you got, or they don't have, so they know somebody who do, so they're gonna have something so they can have. But at the same time, it's all the same root. It's all the same corrupt. It's all disgusting. It has nothing to do with Yahweh by Shimmy Shah. If it ain't nothing about keeping his commandments, it's garbage. Matthew 6:20. But lay up yourselves treasures in heaven, where neither moth nor rust doth corrupt, and where thieves do not break through and steal, because there's no thieves in the kingdom. They ain't allowed. For where your treasure is, there will your heart be also. Listen, talking to the sis. I said, listen, if we take our eyes off Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, we lose. We lose. He'll let us go right back to that BS that where our heart is. If your heart's on these scriptures, if your heart is on these scriptures and doing these scriptures, because a lot of y'all think this is entertainment. Like a lot of y'all really think that that the brothers coming out here and speaking this truth to you is just entertainment. Oh, look at how they dress they have on. Oh, they have on fringes. They have on. Oh, look at how they speak. They say the water and Salakia and a Shalom. And, it's so different. That's stupid. We are practicing righteous acts. There's a lot of brothers and sisters out here that speak Hebrew fluently. I know a few words. And the few words I do know, I use. But what the scriptures say, we're taking it to a lane that's not ours. Speaking language that's not ours. This language we talk right now is not our language. Look into the history of English. It is trash. It is absolute garbage. If you have a litter box or you walk an animal and they poop and you got to pick it up and scoop it up, that's what this language is. This language is garbage. So back to what I'm saying. If we take our eye off of him, we lose. Right? Don't take your eye off the prize. We'll just say we press towards the mark of the high calling that is in Yahweh Shah HaMashiach, right? We press towards the mark, right? Philippians 3:14, right? We press, look at this, Philippians 3:14, written by everyone's favorite Paul, right? I press towards the mark of the prize of the high calling of Yahweh Shai of Yahweh in Yahweh Shai HaMashiach. Let us, Philippians 3:14, let us therefore, as many as be perfect, be thus minded. And if anything ye be otherwise minded, the most Yahweh shall reveal even this unto you. Come on, man. If we aren't in this, he gonna show us that we ain't in this. The same way he had me show that girl that she wasn't focused, is the same way I'm telling you that we have to stay focused. Because if we lose focus, we lose. Here it is. Turn your Bibles to Matthew 15:24. Matthew 15:24. Matthew 24, I'm sorry. Matthew 14. I'm sorry. Yeah, Matthew 14. What am I talking about? Yeah, but not Matthew 14, but I'm gonna do a whole study about this Matthew 14 because the whole chapter of Matthew 14 is incredible. But there's one part of this, because if I start getting to Matthew 24, like I'm not to do it like a 5-parter. You know what I mean? I mean, because there's so much in this chapter that's so beautiful. You know what I mean? Because a lot's happened in this chapter, but I want to talk about how Yahweh Shai he fed the come on, Spirit. He fed the multitude, right? He fed the like. There's so much in this. There's so much in this. So much happened in the beginning of this chapter. It talks about John the Baptist, right? How how um how John the Baptist, well, King Herod heard of Yahweh Shai, right? And you know, he was like, oh, he knew about him through John the Baptist because John the Baptist was out here letting everybody know, right? Letting everybody know the kingdom of heaven is at hand. And I baptize you with water, but the one who's coming before me, one's coming after me. I'm not even worthy enough to tie his shoe. You know what I mean? He's gonna baptize y'all with fire, and that fire is his word. So, but he checked Herod. He was like, because Herod was trying to get with his brother's wife, and John was like, "Yo, that's unlawful. Like that's honestly, like, nigga, that's nasty, nigga. That's your brother's sister. That's your brother's wife." So what happened was that his that woman's daughter had a birthday, and he asked her, "What do you want for your birthday?" So she ran to her mama and was like, "Oh, the king wants to give me something. Wants to give me a birthday present. What should I ask?" She said, "Oh, go tell him that you want the head of John the Baptist." So she went and told him that she wanted the head of John the Baptist, and he decreed it. He beheaded John the Baptist. And then he went and told Yahweh. And then the word got around. The disciples went and got John the Baptist's body. They told Yahweh Shai. I mean, if you read the scriptures and if you were in the spirit, he was sad. That was his man. You know what I mean? John the Baptist baptized him. And the spirit, and Yahweh came down on a chariot and was like, yo, that's my son. Well, you know what I mean? I'm sorry. I'm getting a little emotional. You know what I mean? Because it is sad. You know what I mean? And these heathens, man. These heathens, man. These heathens, man. Like that's what I'm saying. Like people don't read this. People don't read this Bible. They don't understand it. They don't get it. They go to church. They go to these devil places, and they let these devils, these slick-headed niggas talk to them about this word, and they don't know anything about it. So, it's bearable. So they told him. He was sad, you know what I mean? So then, and then Matthew 14-13, and Yahweh Shai heard it, and he departed thence in a ship thence by ship into a desert place apart. So he jumped in the ship, and he went away from all this. So he went away. He just had to get away from all this, you know what I mean? And when the people had heard thereof, they followed him on foot out of the city. So people heard that he was there, and they all ran to him. Who are those people? Children of Israel. That's us, right? And it's not specific, but it says the people. And he only came from one nation of people. You know what I mean? So don't let Matthew 3:16 get your head knocked off, because I'm going to knock it off right here. Isaiah 45:17. And knock that off. That world is Israel. All right? So So 14, and Yahushua went forth and saw the great multitude and was moved with compassion towards them. He loved them. That's love. He felt love. And he healed their sick. He healed the sick people. He said, man, I'm my people, man. I'm here for y'all. He felt that love. You know what I mean? That love that everybody wants. You know what I mean? We're living in a day and time where people are saying, "Oh, we have to give people their flowers." Ain't no grown man want no flowers. I grew up in the 80s and 90s when it was the 90s and hip hop came out. You know what everybody wanted? Everybody wanted their props. All the sisters I know wanted props. They wanted their props. Whatever you do good, you want that respect from that. You don't want nobody coming to your job handing you instead of giving you a check, they handing you a bouquet of flowers. Get out of it. You don't want, if you want a promotion, oh, I want a promotion. I want to get this position here and get this office right here. Oh, no, 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 you can't have that. I'm going to give you a bouquet of flowers. This place has got to go. This place disgusts me. Grown man talking about, got to give so-and-so their flowers. You niggas is real fruity nowadays, man. Y'all some real simp-ass, fruity-ass niggas, man. For real. All right, so let's get back to it. Matthew 14 and 15. And when it was evening, his disciples came to him saying, this is a desert place, and at the time is now past. Send the multitude away, that they may go into the villages and buy themselves victuals. But Yahushua said to them, they need not depart, give them to eat. They don't need to go. Let's give them something to eat. You know what I mean? Like, these are my people. I'm getting mad love here. Like, these people are receiving this word. I'm getting mad love. Ain't nobody over here trying to fight me, trying to kill me. Listen, man, I'm gonna bless these folks. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm gonna show them. I'm gonna give them. I'm gonna show them. You know what I mean? I'm gonna bless them. These are my peoples right here. So they said unto him, we have here but 5 loaves and 2 fishes. And he said, bring them here. And he commanded the multitude to sit down on the grass, and took the 5 loaves and the 2 fishes, looked up to heaven and blessed them, and brake and gave the loaves to his disciples, and the disciples to the multitude. And they did all eat and were filled. And they took up the fragments that remained, 12 baskets full. So there was leftovers. All right, and they had eaten and they that had eaten were about 5,000 men, besides women and children. So 5,000 men ate with their wives and children. You know what I mean? With their wives, and then whoever else was there, right? So you had families, and then everybody else who was there. That's 5, and that's just so people were just, he fed the 5,000. No. He fed 5,000 men. There were about 5,000 men besides the women and children. Once again, it's about the men here. So when you read these from these slick-head nigga passages, they say, we fed the 5,000. No. He fed 5,000 men, and then he fed women and children. Excuse me. That could have been double. It was a lot of people. 23. Oh, no, I'm sorry. And 22. And straightway Yahushua constrained his disciples to get into the ship and to go before him unto the other side, where he sent the multitude away. He said the multitude one way, told the disciples to go another way, right? And then he said, and 23, and when he had sent the multitude away, he went up into the mount apart to pray. He had to pray, man. He was hurt because his man's got killed by the heathen, and then he went and fed and preached to the children of Israel. Got mad love, fed everybody. Everybody was full, and said, I got to go up to the mountain and pray. You know what I mean? There's a lot going on in the spirit. He had to go pray. And a lot of times we have to do that to ourselves, man. There's a lot of things that's going on. And sometimes we got to get away and pray. You know what I mean? And don't be ashamed to do that. We got to get away and pray sometimes. All right? So at 23, and sent the multitude away, and he went up into the mountain apart to pray. And when the evening came, he was there alone. So when the sun went down, he was there by himself. It was just him and him speaking to Yahweh. We all know who he's praying to. He's praying to the Father. But the ship was now in the midst of the sea, tossed with waves, and the wind was contrary. Now let's look up the definition to the word contrary. All right? Because I know some of y'all sedity folk out there use the word contrary all the time. All right. Contrary. All right. The opposite in nature, direction, or meaning. Let's see. Perverse, inclined, disagree. The opposite, contrary, logic. All right, let's see here. The reverse opposite. So let's see here. Reverse logic. I'm not really sure. fat or condition uncomfortable with others. So it's the opposite. So it was contrary. So it was the opposite of what it usually is, right? So if the winds are usually just blowing regular, these winds were on one, right? Okay. And in the fourth watch of the night, the fourth watch of the night is like that 3:30 to like 6:30 in the morning, like before it's like when the sun's getting ready to come up. You know what I mean? But it's real dark then. You know what I'm saying? And in the fourth watch of the night, Yahushua went up to them, walking on the sea. So he's seen the boat, but he was walking to them on the water. You know what I mean? Yahushua had to walk. He had to get away, man. He was just chilling. He was doing his thing, man. You know how we do sometimes. We take them long walks, put our headphones on, to start walking. Go to the park and just walk, man. Sit by the water, just reflect. You know what I mean? And when the disciples saw him walking on the sea, they were troubled, saying, "It's a spirit." And they cried out in fear, "Oh, oh." I could just, I could hear them yelling, "Oh." You know what I mean? Like cussing and yelling. Oh man, that is so funny, all right? But straightway, Yahweh spake unto them, saying, "Be of good cheer." All right, be of good cheer. Hey yo, chill out, man. And yo, don't be afraid. Be of good cheer and be not afraid. And Peter answered and said, because Peter was his man. And Peter answered and said, "Lord, if it be thou, bid me to come unto the water." Hawashai said, "Come." And when Peter come down out the ship, and he walked on the water to go toward Yahushua. But when he saw the winds boisterous, he was afraid and began to sink and cried, saying, "Lord, save me." And immediately Yahushua stretched forth his hand and caught him and said unto him, "Thou of little faith, where didst thou doubt?" And when they came into the ship, the wind ceased. Okay, so this is the scripture that Yahushua sent me to. Yahushua sent me to in regard to this woman's situation. So I said to her, "You take your eyes off Yahushua, you don't fall." Right? What happened? The storm, we in storms every day. The storms around us all the time. We got the winds blowing us. We got spiritual demons, Satan coming at us with all different things. We got these heathens we work with coming at us every day. We got these bills. We're being watchful for what's on TV, making sure line up the scriptures. We can know what's going on. Speaking these words of prophecy, listen to the prophets. We're doing all these different things, and everything is against us. And sometimes we just don't realize that all we got to do is stop and keep our eyes on Yahweh, Bahashim Yahushua. Peter said, "If that's you, let me come out there in the water with you." What Yahushua said, "Come." He started walking on the water. Seeing them winds, seeing them bills, seeing them people talking to him, seeing this, seeing that, seeing all these issues, family, all this other stuff coming at you. And what happens? We get tossed to and fro, and we take our eyes off Yahweh Bashim, Yahweh Shai for a second, and we lose it. We start sinking. And what do? We cry out, "Lord, save me." And immediately, Yahweh Shai stretched forth his hand and caught him and picked him up and said, "Oh, thou little faith, where didst thou doubt?" No doubt, though. We gotta walk in this. We have to own it. We have to believe it. I'm talking about balls to bones. There's nothing else that we're supposed to be doing right now. We're supposed to be believing in this word. Because we don't have time to take our eyes off of him. We ain't got time no more. We take our eyes off him, we fall. We're going to drown and die. But he is just, and he is long-suffering, and he loves those who keeps his commandments. If this was any other person, they'd have been gone. All right. This would have been when these 2/3 out here, when these people, these unbelievers, because the Bible says that the unfaithfulness will die in their unfaithfulness. Right? No. These are the elect. The 12 are the elect. All right? High governing. When he comes back, they are the high ones. All right? And they were with him and they doubted. We can't doubt. 32. And when they came into the ship, the wind ceased. So when Yahushua is with you, you're at peace. Let's get that. Let's get that. Let's get that. All right. Isaiah 26 and 3. Let's go. Isaiah 26 and 20. Isaiah 26 and 3 is hard body. I probably quote this numerous times in these studies. Thou wilt keep him in perfect peace whose mind is stayed on thee, because he trusteth in thee. Once again, let's go back to Matthew 14 and 31. And immediately Yahweh stretched forth his hand and caught Peter and said unto him, O thou of little faith, wherefore didst thou doubt? Can't doubt. Let's go back to Isaiah 26 and 3 again. For thou wilt keep him in perfect peace whose mind is stayed on thee, because he trusteth in thee. We got to stay on him. We abide in him. If we abide in him, what? He going to abide in us. I gotta study on that one too. All right? And when they came into the ship, the wind ceased. So when we come into the, when we came into the, when we're with him, we're in perfect peace. Don't matter if the wind's still blowing. The wind's going to stop. Why? Because we are with the one who controls everything. And when they were in the ship, I say in 33, then they that were in the ship came and worshipped him, saying, "O of a truth, thou art the Son of Yahweh." And when they gone over, they came into the land of Gennesaret. And when the men of that place had knowledge of him, that sent out into all that country round about, and brought unto him all that were deceased. So they went there. People brought the dead bodies, all that were deceased. He besought them, and they only touched the hem of his garment, as they and as many as touched were made perfectly whole. So once again, he went to this place. Everyone knew who he was. Once again, these are children of Israel. These are lost sheep of the children of Israel. And what did they do? They touched the hem of his garment. What was the hem of his garment? His fringes. Keep your eyes on him. Shalom.